was just outside a minute ago. I was having an argument with a disabled man who was cheekily trying to park his car in an able-bodied car parking space. Actually, if you're taking driving lessons, don't go over to Pakistan. I know this guy who spent a year out there training to drive a Jeep through a set of airport doors, and he still missed. I'm not getting a lot of sleep at the moment. The man below me is shouting and screaming all night long. It's a bit of a worry because I live in a camper there. I like to write, though. I do like to write. I went on a creative writing course last year, and they asked us to write about the thing that really wound us up, the thing that annoyed us the most. And I said, right, okay, the thing that annoys me the most is people who retell urban myths, but they start the first sentence with, "You'll never guess what happened to some friends of mine." That really winds me up. I'll tell you, I'm actually writing at the moment. I'm writing a TV drama. It's about an aeroplane that crashes into a house, and the survivors have to live in an attic. I was going to call it Loft. I hope it does better than my children's Christmas book, the Santa Claus Delusion. But I'm a bit of a worrier, I must admit. I was worried last year even when Marcel Marceau died, because I was worried that, what if he's not really dead? I mean, he's the world's most famous mime artist. I mean, what if he was just in character for a gig and someone stuck him in a box and buried him underground? I mean, it's a bit cruel, isn't it? I mean, my fear is that, well, if Marcel Marceau has been buried alive, he's going to be the first person ever, when he wakes up in his coffin, to die of irony. You're sick laughing at that. I like the Da Vinci Code, but everyone's familiar with the Da Vinci Code, presumably. Did anyone like the film more than the book?
No.
No. You know why? They should have said it in Australia, right? Because I, for one, would have paid blooming good money to see the curator of the museum, in his dying moments, contort himself, not into the shape of Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, but into a Rolf Harris Rolfaroo. And he could have written on the floor next to him, "Yes, you twat, the cousin is gay." An anagram of, "Can you guess what it is yet?" Actually, they think this has happened in America. They think that they've discovered bodies that seem to be in strange positions, almost as if they're mimicking works of art. There was a guy who was hit by a 10-ton truck, ended up looking not unlike Tracy Emin's unmade bed. I'm a parent now, which is worrying, obviously, but it means that I'm now legally allowed to use a piece of fruit as a means of communication. Now, by this I mean pick up a banana. Look, kids, I'm on the phone. Like I'm the first parent to ever do this. But what most parents don't realise, because they're quite naive, is that while you're doing this, yakking on this banana telephone, some 3,000 miles away in Africa, there's a gorilla going, "What? Who is this?" "How did you get this number?" They're always cool when you're eating, don't they? And myself, I like to think I'm a modern parent, so I use the mobile alternative, and I'm with Orange. So, had to be done. So I'm walking down the road the other day, and there's a guy on the other side of the road. He's like, "Chicken!" So I'm like, okay, ignore him, just keep going, keep going. "Chicken!" Just ignore him. "You! Chicken!" So I'm like, coward. That was just before I tripped over the chicken. If you're at a party and you want to get rid of someone, try this as your next sentence. "You know the thing I really love about being a Scientologist?" Sometimes you can hear the screeching of their car brakes even before you get to the last syllable. I'm just going to leave you now with the final words of my great-grandfather. The final words he said to me just before he died. He looked at me and he said, "Look, if it was an electric fence, could I do this?" Right. Thank you very much, and have a good rest of the evening.